Proposals as to sanctions that need to be imposed. There's a question to see restrain the decision on the part of Germany first. This is the disconnection of Russian banks from the project, which payment banks in particular, and also the delivery of Russian gas to whereas certain especially Germany dependence on solutions can be found if there is a will. There are two key stories here, which we are talking about Germany's split and other energy areas.
We believe that Russia, that this journalist who was very distinct, was very development, and as far as I understand, there will be the best is press on it. It was really good to do, and just another rebellion act of the Russian army.
kanyuma kano kagundi ka app ndiko wifi ina gundi vipya. Is it not this the same? What's it?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sorry, we had a technical hitch on getting the voice through, but we want to take this opportunity as Ministry of Public Service, Civil Service College Uganda, to welcome you all who are on board this afternoon as we go through a short event to have the Multimedia Studio Center at Jinja Civil Service College handed over to the Ministry of Public Service by the consultant who's been working on it. And also have a maiden broadcast by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Service. We want to take this opportunity to welcome all Chief Executive Officers and Responsible Officers that are online, development partners that are online, our consultant 8Tech who are also online and who we also have physically at Civil Service College Jinja, our heads of departments that are online, other public officers in your respective capacities, technical team from the Ministry of Public Service, Civil Service College, and 8Tech, friends and well-wishers. We want to welcome you all to this event. It is marking one key milestone in the enhancing of online learning, where we are going to open up a multimedia studio that is going to be helping us to enhance our online learning content.
Sorry.
A repository for our online material, recording, video content for online learning, streaming online sessions. So all that is facility that is being handled now to start our
tuilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, uzalendo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Viwandani na hata mashambani, tufanye kazi sote kwa makini, tujitoe kwa hali na mali, tuijenge jumuiya bora. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Can we have a prayer by Miss Ruth Umra Chichoncho?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this multimedia studio that is being launched today and broadcasted today. We thank you for your provision. We thank you for the Ministry of Public Service. We thank you for ATEC that has supported us in setting up this studio. And we thank you for the support of UNDP in funding this project. And Father, as we broadcast this maiden broadcast, we pray that you may guide us throughout this streaming. May it be a success. And may this multimedia studio add value to all Ugandans. We pray all of this believing and trusting in your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Ladies and gentlemen, we can now take our seats wherever you are. You can take your seat now. Once again, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Ministry of Public Service, Civil Service College Uganda, to welcome you all, our distinguished participants, to this session where we are going to witness a handover of a multimedia studio. Some of us have been asking what is all this about, and as we go along, you'll definitely get to know what this is all about. At the same time, we are going to have a maiden broadcast in this very studio to show you what this studio is meant to be doing to enhance online learning in the public service. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to quickly run through what our program should be looking like this afternoon. I'm going to give you a few welcome remarks, part of which I have already started with. After that, we are going to hear from our consultant, 8Tech Consultants Limited. After that, we shall have a navigation, a virtual navigation of our multimedia studio by our Information Communication and Technology Officer, Mr. Kenneth Maloba. And thereafter, we shall get key highlights and a maiden broadcast from the permanent secretary, who is represented this afternoon by none other than the Commissioner, Human Resource Management and in charge of compensation, Mr. Victor Bualeku, after which we shall have the handover of the studio, and thereafter we shall depart. That will bring us to the close of our business today, and we shall have any other engagements thereafter through our normal communication channels, because we trust that after this, we should be getting down to business to utilize the facility that we are going to be navigating through this afternoon. Once again, allow me to recognize all responsible officers, accounting officers, and chief executive officers who are online this afternoon. I also want to recognize our development partners that are online, specifically the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, who are the reason why we are here in terms of the support. They have supported us to see this come to this level, to be operationalized. Want also to recognize our consultants, 8Tech Consults Uganda Limited, all directors who are in-house tonight, all heads of departments, all senior public officers in your respective capacities, the Ministry of Public Service technical team and Civil Service College technical team that have been working behind the scenes to see us come on board this afternoon. All friends, well-wishers. My name is well displayed on the screen. For pronunciation purposes, I could pronounce it, but it is simply Savia Mugwanya. I am a Commissioner Human Resource Management, and right now specifically in charge of the Civil Service College Uganda Jinja. I lead the team here. So allow me to take this opportunity on behalf of our Ministry of Public Service, on behalf of the technical team of Civil Service College, and on my own behalf, to welcome you all to this event and engagement of receiving the multimedia studio from the consultant that has been working on it, and also to hear from our permanent secretary, giving us the trigger to see how this facility should be used, and telling us what it is we need to keep in mind as we go forward. Your virtual presence is indeed well appreciated. And like I said, this is going to be a short program. I have already highlighted what it will look like. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all aware. I hope you are all aware, but if you're not, you all know that Civil Service College Uganda is a department of the Ministry of Public Service. It is a department that is mandated to building capacities of public service institutions and human resources, as well as supporting public policy research and innovation. And all these are meant to improve service delivery in the public service. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that this mandate is largely attained through the undertaking of training programs at the Civil Service College. The training programs are virtually of two broad categories. The core training programs that we schedule through our annual calendars, which are based on training needs assessments undertaken by the ministry, guidance given by the cabinet, performance gaps identified through inspection reports and audit reports, and other channels that provide with us indications of where performance gaps are. And subsequently, we schedule programs to address some of those gaps and also specifically target specific categories of public officers. So that is one strand of the training that we have at the college. The other strand of training that we have at the college is the tailor-made training courses which are specifically demand-driven, and these are requested for by government entities where they feel they have performance gaps and they would like the Civil Service College to design and deliver training programs. So Civil Service College was specifically established in 2010 as an intervention under the public sector transformation to support the professionalizing of the public service by training, enhancing capacities of public officers so that we are inculcating them the professional ethos, which is supposed to allow them to serve with a citizen-centered approach and a professional approach in all the performance that they undertake in their respective entities, so that government can be able to transform the public services that it delivers to its citizens. With the current facilities at the Civil Service College, ladies and gentlemen, the college would ideally be able to train about 7,000 public officers in a year. However, we can say that currently, while we have those two broad categories for training, and which we also undertake through two modalities, that is, we have the online trainings and the face-to-face trainings. We did start with the face-to-face trainings, but as a center of excellency that we are supposed to be in public service development, a platform that was established, and we did have indeed a maiden training on this platform in June 2020. In the same respect, we realized that it was not going to be possible for us to reach the 7,000 targeted public officers if we didn't have interventions like online learning. So for purposes of expanding the outreach, we found it prudent to have the online learning. And definitely that is why the ministry contracted the consultants to stretch the learning towards the online platform. That is also supposed also to help us, because you realize that currently on an annual basis, we train up to about 3,000 officers. that is clear testimony that our outreach is still small. And we do hope that this online training can allow us to reach a bigger number of public officers. We do note that we currently are talking about a public service that is about 320,000 public officers. Civil Service College may not reach each of the 320,000 public officers, but it must have a critical mass in every entity of government, which will allow for a trickle-down training to the 320,000. So our focus is on building a critical mass of officers that have their capacities to be able to lead these institutions of government, to be able to supervise staff in these institutions of government, to be able to undertake performance management systems and operationalize them effectively so that we can list results out of our public officers. So Civil Service College believes that even with the numbers being enhanced up to 7,000, which is a very small percentage of the public service, we still can have a trickle-down effect with the critical mass. So because that is our target, we as a ministry decided to see how best we can enhance the online learning. And as such, the multimedia studio concept came on board. And consequently, in May 2021, we went into a contractual undertaking with ATEC to have a multimedia studio set up. And this is also supposed to allow for enhancing of the online learning. So this was meant to fully operationalize the learning management system. And the multimedia studio would facilitate the development of audio and video training content. It is supposed to facilitate e-documentation. It is supposed to allow for us to be able to record training sessions, which can be streamed live or can be recorded and streamed in sessions subsequently after the recordings. And this was all done with the support of the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, who made this a possibility under the Spotlight Initiative, where they sponsored the development of this studio. Under the Spotlight Initiative of the United Nations Development Program, one of the interventions that is being undertaken is the coming up with systems that are responsive to gender-based violence, so that we have government institutions that are able to respond to the elimination of gender-based violence through their programs and plans. And subsequently, Civil Service College is one of the implementing entities. And in terms of supporting the strengthening of institutions to be able to carry this forward, UNDP has supported us not only to have this studio operationalized, but they also have supported us, and our very first self-paced course, which is online, which is in gender-based violence responsive planning and budgeting, was also supported by them and was launched not so long ago, about 3 months ago. In November, we had it launched at the Civil Service College. So at this point in time, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and also appreciate the support that we have received from the United Nations Development Program, because they have helped us to enhance our online learning. And also we are in the process of having further enhancements to the learning management platform, as well as the Civil Service College website. And UNDP still stands with us. Therefore, we want to extend our sincere appreciation from the Ministry of Public Service, from the Civil Service College Uganda, for the commitment that they have had and they continue to have, and the support in strengthening institutional capacities. Ladies and gentlemen, you will note that we are not able to have the resident representative of the United Nations Development Program with us this afternoon. because this event happened to be on short notice in terms of their activities, and they already had scheduled activities. But I want to believe that we do have our project coordinator that we've been working with, Miss Harriet Karusgarire. She should be online. I want to take a moment and request that if Harriet is online, you come on to say hello to all of us that have gathered this afternoon to witness the handover and the maiden broadcast. And I would also humbly request that you introduce any members of the UNDP team that may be on board this afternoon. Madam Harriet Karusigarire, if you're on board, or I see we do have also Madam Beatrice Mugambe. So whoever is able to come in and greet our participants that are online and also introduce the rest of the team at UNDP, we would humbly be glad to receive you. Can I take off a minute to welcome whoever is doing that on behalf of UNDP?
Hello, good afternoon, partners, colleagues, Minister of Public Service. Good afternoon, PS. This is Harriet Karusigarire, UNDP. We are glad to be in this event. Thank you for inviting us, and we apologize that our resident representative could not be.
Do we have anyone from UNDP
present?
Okay, thank you so much.
Hello?
Please.
Commissioner, do you hear me?
Yes, we do hear you this side, and I do hope that the colleagues who are online are also hearing you.
We hear you.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, I'm here with Ms. Beatrice Mugambe, the gender advisor whom we work with in Spotlight. As I was saying, we bring apologies from the resident representative and our team leader, Annette Ms. Pavlunji. They couldn't be here with us because they had another event. But thank you for the partnership and for all the work that you have done. We still pledge our commitment to see this through. Thank you. Hello, I hope we were heard.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we've not been getting you so clearly, but I'm told all is well. Harriet, thank you so much for taking off a minute to let us know who is with us this afternoon from United Nations Development Program, UNDP. Ladies and gentlemen, I have also noted that we do have our permanent secretary in the house. I want also to take this opportunity to welcome the permanent secretary, Ministry of Public Service, Mrs. Catherine Bitarakwate Musimbire. You're most welcome. We also want to welcome once again any other responsible officers and chief executives that are with us this afternoon. Development partners that are with us this afternoon, we welcome you. Our directors that are on board, we welcome you. Heads of department, senior public officers that are on board, all officers from the Civil Service College, technical team, Ministry of Public Service, ladies and gentlemen, our well-wishers, and last but not least, our consultants, 8Tech. We all want to welcome you on board. I want also to take this opportunity to extend our appreciation to the consultants that have been working with us to see this studio come to a reality. Like I noted earlier, we did launch it in November. However, after the launching, we did have further training happening and software installations and equipment to finalize making this studio ready for what you're going to learn this afternoon that is going to be happening in this studio. So I want to extend our appreciation to the consultants. I want to inform our colleagues that are online, ladies and gentlemen, that this evening we have a technical team from the ATEC Consults Uganda Limited. But right with me, I have the Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Baker Sekito, who is seated right next to me. And I would wish that all of you look at him. I did indicate to them that it is good we are having a visual appearance of our consultants. If anything goes wrong hereafter, we do know where to go and we do know what kind of faces we'll be looking for. So we would definitely want to hear from them and get to hear what the experience has been, but also to confirm to us that going forward, this is a facility that we should rely on in terms of enhancing our online learning. And as we go into the next part of the program, we shall also get to hear from our permanent secretary what she's expecting of all of us in the public service in our respective entities and departments. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at this point in time to welcome a representative that we have on site from ATEC Consults Limited, who is going to make a few remarks and subsequently call upon the Chief Executive of ATEC Consultants Limited to also give his remarks, and then we shall proceed with the program thereafter. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, once again for taking off time to be with us this afternoon. I want to appreciate you all in your respective capacities, and I also want most sincerely and heartily to welcome our Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Service, and thank you for the support and the commitment to be here, because it has been a very tight schedule for you, but we are glad that you have been able to make it. Thank you very much once again, ladies and gentlemen, and I now take this opportunity to call upon Mr. Baker Sekito, the Chief Operations Officer at ATEC, to give his remarks, introduce his team, and invite the Chief Executive Officer to give his remarks this afternoon. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Good afternoon to you all, Madam Commissioner, all our distinguished listeners, all protocol observed. Madam Commissioner, I want to start by deeply thanking Ministry of Public Service through the Civil Service College to have granted ATEC the opportunity to put a studio at Civil Service College. The journey began amidst the challenges of COVID last year, but as consultants, we did not, we did push back the work. We just decided to make sure that we continue amidst the same challenges to accomplish this. Way back in November, we did some little bit of half handover, and we continued with the work of making sure we do training and put everything together for the studio to make sure that the studio works as much as possible. With the service that you're looking at right now, we can assure you that the studio setup is all done and all equipment available, and Civil Service College will be able now to do what it's supposed to do to make sure that delivers the service the studio was meant to do. I would like to thank the team at ATEC who have done really some good work and who have shown humility, commitment, dedication, and determination to make the studio a progress. And I would like to thank Joseph Reveze, who has been at the center of this, Collins Nwagaba, Fiona Nambogo, all of those staff have been totally engaged to make sure that the studio project comes to fruition. Allow me on a personal note to express my deep personal appreciation and gratitude to the commissioner, Madam Savia. Amidst the challenges we had during COVID, she was able to work with us, and she was so effective from the beginning up to the end. And really, she has been a person who have worked with carefully and collectively. She has guided us. She has been there to make sure that the studio setup is done and everything that is required to be put in place is put in place. So I want to thank the Civil Service College team from the ICT part, Kenneth most especially, who has been in touch with us also. And I would like to thank the entire team at HTech also for the support that they have offered during the studio setup. On that note, I would like to thank also our directors, Professor Jude and Dr. Drake, also have been so helpful in making sure they do the normal kind of checkup at the studio to make sure that it is a success. Therefore, Madam Commissioner, with those few words, I'm deeply grateful, in particular for your support, and I would like to say that we let the handover continue as I invite our CEO, Professor Jude Vega, who is also online, maybe to give us a word at this handover. I thank you.
Professor Jude, you're most welcome.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
We do.
The PS?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
You are clear.
The PS Public Service, Madam Commissioner Savia, all other protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me pleasure to come to such a day when it's officially the studio is being handed over to public service for them to be able to utilize for the rest of their journey as they impart skills to the public servants in this country. We are grateful to public service for having believed in us to put together such a product for them. We started several years back by first developing for them a learning management system, trained them, went into content authoring, and now we have a product of a studio on ground at Civil Service College. Thank you for believing in us, that we can be able to deliver to you e-learning solutions that are cutting edge. I must say, HTech Consults has been undertaking such projects locally and internationally, and has the expertise to deliver on even other e-learning solutions, as you know. Delivering on animations is something that probably you need to explore in the future, of which we can do very ably. We deliver several ICT solutions in software development of different kinds. And this is why we have been able to deliver on this one too. Our profile quite displays a lot of expertise in this area. And we possess also quite a number of expertise that can deliver on any ICT project, both locally and internationally. So we want to thank you for believing in us, that we can be able to deliver, and we have been able to deliver. We don't deliver and walk away, but we deliver and walk with you. And therefore, for a period of time, we shall work with you to make sure that the Civil Service College studio is put to use and in the best way possible. The trainings we have offered to staff there will continue until the time that you feel that you have grown up and you are ready to take on the role of managing whatever you have. So at this point in time, I would want to thank so much Sabia for being accommodative to us, especially during the COVID time. But we are happy together that this child has been born. We are happy to the funder that availed resources for us to be able to accomplish this noble job. And we hope you can continue supporting Civil Service College because it's here to impart skills to the public servants out there. So ladies and gentlemen, what we need to note that there has been a paradigm shift and we are never going to go back in the way we are teaching in the past. So this move of Civil Service College is a great move forward, especially for the 21st century. And for them believing in a paradigm shift, and they have moved with the paradigm shift. They can be able to deliver to more than 1,000 public servants by one person at a go from anywhere they are, but for them when they are within the studio here. So we thank you for having that innovative dream that has come true. Ladies and gentlemen, as I end my remarks, I would want to thank the team, the CTO, Dr. Drake Milembe, who is online there, CEO Baker, who is right there, Fiona Manager, and the rest of the team, technical team, Joseph, Collins, that have worked so hard to make sure that we deliver this bouncing baby this afternoon. Thank you so much. And to public service and the rest of the other people out there attending this call, we are at your service when you need any ICT solutions. And we shall be able to deliver to your desires. I thank you so much, and I wish you a very good launch this afternoon. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Professor Jude. Jude, we are happy that this actually has come to pass. We definitely do know that you will still continue to support us. And we do know that if we have a problem, we know where to run, but we don't expect to have a problem. So ladies and gentlemen, I once again wish to request that each of us who is attending this event, please make sure you leave your name, your title and institution in the chat room. Please take off a minute to type in your name, your institution and your title. We would definitely love to have a record of who has been here with us. And it is also part of a follow-up mechanism because I think it is going to be important for us to keep in touch with everybody that has been with us as we start off this journey. So please take off a minute and type in your name, your title and institution in the chat room. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I am glad to hand over to our IT team, specifically led by Mr. Kenneth Maloba, who is our ICT officer, information communication, technology officer, who is now going to lead us in the navigation of the multimedia studio. The navigation is going to involve showing us what this studio comprises of, but also telling us what part of the components are going to be used for. And of course, we will understand the full appreciation, or we'll get a full appreciation, sorry, of what this is meant to help us with in terms of public sector transformation when we hear from our permanent secretary after we have had a virtual navigation of this facility. So without further ado, allow me to get off the stage, and then we have Mr. Malova come over to take us through the virtual navigation. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and you're welcome to walk with us through this facility.
Thank you very much, Madam Commissioner. My name is Malova Kenneth, ICT Officer, Civil Service College at the Ministry of Public Service. The PS and the entire audience in your own capacities, I take this opportunity to welcome you on this day when HTech is handing over a multimedia project that they have been working on for some time now. As the technical team, we apologize for the hiccup. What just happened a few minutes ago, it was a power issue. We quickly changed to the generator. We have a number of tools within the studio that will aid us achieve most of the things that the studio has been set up to do. Among which we have a smart board. I know the reflection is a bit too much because of the lighting. You may not be able to appreciate our smart board now, but I know those who will be able to come in Ginger, though I welcome all of you. If you want to really have the feel of all these components, spare some time and come down to Ginger, then you'll be able to appreciate what we have on ground. What you see here in form of a reflection is a smart board. This smart board is to aid us achieve the symbolic illustrations of all the content that we intend to upload online for appreciation by the online participants or viewers or students, name it. We may have a group of people that have some illustrations to do, probably if they are teachers, if they are facilitators, like we have a GBV course online, we could have illustrations that we intend to send out there. This smart board will aid us do our illustrations here, and they will lively or on real time be seen by our online participants. This same studio will help us create podcasts. These are short movies that can always be uploaded online for our audience appreciation, depending on the message that has to be sent out there. On this table, where the commissioner was seated, is where we shall have our facilitator seated to air out or give a feel of the kind of information they intend to put out there. Then, as we shall move to the control room, is where we shall have the work edited before it is uploaded for the online consumers. So we shall have our facilitator sit here, then they talk the message they intend to pass out to the participants. The control room will be working through the information that is flowing to make sure that we fine tune it and upload. Okay, so the lighting will be a little bit switched off so that we appreciate a few of the small components that are on the smart board. Just to have that little feel, we may not do a lot of illustrations now, but let's turn off some lights, then we appreciate a few. I don't know whether we are able to see. So this is a smart board. It comes with tools within here. Most of these tools So sorry about it. I wanted to illustrate something, but it seems to be failing to come out. But this has a lot of tools within which you can play around with mathematical formulae. You can draw symbols. There within we have media. You can link it directly to online, YouTube, retrieve any content online, bring it here and play around it to come up with a symbol that you intend to pass out to your audience. So we will move to with this request. So we will see our display screen. So this is the display screen. This is a field when we have a facilitator seated on the podium, they are able to see themselves to appreciate how they are trying to feed the information into our online. When I talk about online, I talk about the e-learning management system that we have integrated with this studio. Whatever we shall be doing here in the studio will go direct into our ELMS, that is the electronic learning management system. Whoever will have an account into the ELMS will be able to appreciate this content that will be running on real time. So we also move to appreciate the control room. We also move to appreciate the control room. In the control room is where most of the content development is done. After we have had the facilitator talk on the podium or express the information, we come into the control room and fine-tune it. Fine-tune it, we try to get it so that the content does not directly go online. We make sure that the content that goes online is edited and the audience feels and interacts with good information that has been edited well. Here we have a number of computers, sets of computers that help us to do the editing. We are installing several softwares that help in editing of the content that will go online. That content, when it is uploaded online, is uploaded onto our ELMS, the electronic management system. All participants will have an account into the ELMS. When you log in, you will be able to appreciate this information. If it is a course, any form of information, you have an account and you are attached to a particular course that you will be interested in. The podcasts, we shall have a YouTube channel, which is already up. When let me give an example of within the Ministry of Public Service, we could have a department that intends to put out information to the public. You are invited into the studio to do that kind of recording. We shall edit it here, then put it up onto several channels of information online so that the audience is able to appreciate it. There is a lot to discuss within the studio here, but due to the time component, I request to end here so that we have other ongoing programs. Thank you very much.
gentlemen, that was a short, brief navigation of the studio. Spearheads, and she will give us her maiden broadcast as well. So if you can allow me, invite the permanent secretary to take the floor now. PS, you're most welcome. If you are ready to join us, we are gladly waiting to receive you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Madam PS.
Yes.
Ask them. Permit to do so.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can, Madam PS.
Yes, we can hear you, PS.
You are not allowed, madam.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
The
If you allow her to say, I have to play the video and then screen share those two.
sorry. You guys are noisy. Okay. Thank you very much. Greetings, our viewers in your respective capacities, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings from Ministry of Public Service, Civil Service College, Uganda. I take this opportunity to address you from one of the learning enhancement facilities at the college. That is the Multimedia Studio. Ladies and gentlemen, in delivering its mandate of building capacities of public service institutions and human resources for improved performance and service delivery through online and offsite training programs, the college is utilizing various avenues in a bid to attain the desired reach across the public service. Accordingly, the Ministry of Public Service sanctioned the establishment of an e-learning management system platform at Civil Service College to cater for online learning and specifically deliver training at the level which the digital age expects. To fully operationalize the LMS, the Ministry of Public Service, with the support of UNDP, established a multimedia studio to facilitate online learning, development of audio/video content for learning, and act as a repository for learning material and resource center for the college. The studio will facilitate the following. 1, greater outreach to ministries, departments, agencies, and local governments to cover the current deficit in a number of officers trained face-to-face annually. It will also undertake a comprehensive and easy development of local training content, stroke materials that enhance learning by providing well-contextualized practical case studies and best practices tailored to the public officer's work environment. It will be possible to develop podcasts on various learning topics. Public officers will have greater flexibility in accessing learning and attendance requirements, as well as multimedia studio providing rich visual learning to explain concepts to public officers stroke trainees. And these will be reusable at any future date to several other audiences. We'll be able to undertake mini lectures to replace hour-long lectures. And finally, we'll be able to have recordings of visiting faculty of trainers or content experts at a time convenient to them, which will definitely bring our costs down because you can always use this facility. In this regard, the college will, effective Q4 of this financial year, be screening podcasts codenamed Civil Service College Uganda podcasts on topical subjects in a bid to build capacities across the public service, provide policy implementation updates, and an opportunity for peer learning. I therefore have the pleasure to launch a maiden broadcast at the Service Uganda, at the Civil Service College Uganda Multimedia Studio. And my message to you today focuses on reorienting your minds to propel public sector transformation through mindset change. I now proceed to share this. Savi, are you going to share the presentation or the PowerPoint, or I do so? I can do so? I can't hear you.
With sharing it, you would rather you share it, but if you want us to screen it, we can do that. Would you like to do
Screen it? Screen it will be good. You can screen it.
Okay.
Thank you. The mindset is beliefs and attitudes. You can move to the next. Beliefs and attitudes that a person has assimilated throughout a lifetime about themselves and the world around them. Mindset can be formed and shaped by different factors, including culture, socialization processes, spirituality and religion, and media exposure. Mindset is a social construct. Therefore, it can be deconstructed or reconstructed. The basic principles, the propositions that I guide for behavior is: one, values, that is prescriptions for being, which contain an ethical dimension, and beliefs, which we hold to be true. These are backed and produce attitudes, which are a way of thinking or feeling about something and shape the way we behave. The alignment of personal values with institutional values is a key determinant of institutional effectiveness. And we find that there are two different types of mindset. The growth mindset, which is freedom, and a fixed mindset, which is limiting. Under the growth mindset, we have the kind of person perseveres in the face of failures. This person takes effort to build new skills and finds inspiration in others' success, accepts criticism, and desires to learn. He also builds his abilities. Whereas one with a fixed mindset is depicted by avoidance of challenges, ignores feedback, gets threatened by others' success, and desires to look smart. This personality gives up easily and has fixed abilities. The reason why we are moving to mindset change and why. The attainment of the Africa Agenda 2030 and the global commitments to development stipulated as the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as the individual country and organizational development commitments, require transformative approaches in the public sector administration. The globalized approach to tackling development challenges, demographic evolution, and unextended policy environment has resulted into a significant change in the dimensions of the quality of services that we provide. Accordingly, there is need for the public sector to adopt its programs, policies, services, and systems to this need. And this calls for innovations such as business process engineering, so that we are adaptable to the changes happening globally. And that is why we need to have a mindset change. When we look at the National Development Plan 3, 2021-22 to 2024-25, it stipulates that mindset change will enlist public appreciation of the country's development agenda and increased awareness for ownership and social accountability. And social accountability. It will be a catalyst in enhancing probably they'll share it later because I think there seems to be some technology mix-up. Mindset change will be a catalyst in enhancing the well-being of the people or groups and build capacities of communities to assess their needs, identify options for addressing them, prioritize, leverage resources, and create sustainable solutions. The Uganda public sector has been seen to focus on processes rather than outcomes. In this regard, we need to shift from that kind of work. And the new service delivery demands indicate that public servants will need to acquire a new mindset, capacity, and competencies to cope. This is therefore why we need to retool and equip public servants with specific knowledge, skills, and promotion of effectiveness through relearning and reorienting ourselves away from the traditional ways of conducting business, which mainly focus on processes and production of outputs. Mindset change is also critical for a new system of thinking that promotes public service ethos, responsibility, and ownership of government programs. It is important that we'll be able to share the demands of the citizens so that we program our service delivery towards their needs. Going forward, the public sector transformation program, therefore, is not only focusing on transforming the way the public service conducts its business, but the culture as well as the mode of service delivery. And this will focus on strengthening the alignment of deliverables to government priorities with clearly defined performance measures and the introduction of a results-based performance management system. For effective tracking of output and outcome targets, improvement of effectiveness in reporting, improving communication and citizen engagement at all stages of policy implementation, and focusing on clients. We're sure that we'll be able to address these challenges through the mindset change. And we're expecting that we'll achieve mindset change through the following steps. 1, identification of limiting beliefs, recognizing that mindsets shape actions, therefore the importance of understanding what barriers or beliefs are holding back public servants in pursuing institutional goals, and the values analysis. This will be conducted alongside a situational analysis to understand the specific problems of our country within its context and understanding the principles of effective governance. We will adopt strategies to let go of and rephrase limiting beliefs into new beliefs aligned with the agenda for transformation and the development aspirations. Moving from a non-collaboration mindset to a collaborative one requires changes in underlying beliefs, values, beliefs, and actions to achieve those values. And transforming behaviors reinforces the new beliefs and assumptions. Public institutions need to identify competencies that entail specific mindsets and behaviors. Changing mindsets and competencies will be done and help government become effective in addressing current and future problems. Cultural change and change management are critical aspects of public institutions' transformation to realize their development and transformation agenda, especially by developing a culture of innovation and problem solving. Doing these things differently and focusing on expected new behaviors can bring about a change of mindset as well as institutional transformation. It is my hope and belief that we'll be able to achieve this by engaging in behavior and actions that will bring us to our common goal. And there are definite benefits. Refocusing our energies in our work, improving quality of services, increasing the level of investments, reducing the level of corruption, all for the achievement of Vision 2040. With those remarks, I believe that Uganda's national ethical value will definitely have changed. And we will realize even more benefits such as respect for humanity, honest, uphold and defend the truth at all times, justice and fairness in dealing with others, hard work for self-reliance, integrity, moral uprightness with a sound character, creativity and innovativeness, social responsibility, social harmony, national unity, and national consciousness and patriotism. With those achieved, we know that we'll be able to globally attain the Sustainable Development Goals, Africa Agenda 2030, and transform our public sector. With those remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to acknowledge the source of our information, UNDESA 2021, Changing Mindsets to Realize the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, on how to promote new mindsets and behaviors in public institutions to implement the Sustainable Development Goals. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very much for listening to me, for God and my country.
For taking us through the maiden broadcast on a critical subject on mindset change, because that is where we are all meant to move. Sorry about the hitches we got. We got an interruption in our internet network at the college, but thank God that we've been able to go on without interruptions of the PS, but she was able to continue with her presentation. At this juncture, Madam PS, we are supposed to have our next agenda item as the handover of the studio. And I would request that at this point in time, you come back to advise the consultant to hand over whatever he has to hand over to us who are on site. And then we will accordingly proceed with your guidance. And subsequently, we shall be able to submit whatever the consultant will have handed over that is movable other than the studio over to you. So we will do this on your behalf, but we request that you come back on board and guide that process continues. So Madam PS, back to you for that short process, and then we will bring our function to a close. So back to you, Madam PS.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Ministry of Public Service and Civil Service College Uganda, I hereby request the consultant to hand over the studio and all the tools and the instruments of
a small interruption, but yes. But I want to imagine that you had her request the consultant to hand over all instruments of power. PS is back. PS, please proceed.
I was actually done. I said, I hereby request the consultant to hand over the studio and all the instruments needed for its operation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PS. On your behalf and the behalf of the Ministry of Public Service team and Civil Service College, allow me to receive the instruments. They have been made easy. They've been documented, but the rest of the non-movable material is still here. And I want to confirm that everything else is here. And they are going to hand over the documentation plus a key. And we will definitely confirm that after this session. So, Madam PS, on your behalf and behalf of the rest of the team, please allow me to receive these instruments. And I want to extend our appreciation to 8Tech. The key, 8Tech has not been able to put it on a key ring, but we will find a key ring for it. But for all of us who can see, it's right here, and the project documentation, end of project report that is here with us, and a pack of all the manuals, which has been handed over to the IT personnel. So PS and the rest of the members, I want to thank the team on your behalf, and with your guidance and the presentation you have just made, we want to say that every entity of government is now welcome to record online material at the Multimedia Studio in the Civil Service College of Jinja. Thank you so much. Thank you, 8Tech consultants.
Thank you.
Thank you, PS, and thank you everybody who has attended this session. And to our partners, UNDP, we want to say thank you so much. And to all the chief executives that have been with us, directors, heads of departments, senior officers in public service, CSCU technical staff, all our well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. We do appreciate your time and trust that we will be able to receive you when you come to find out more about this facility. And the PS will be sending you an official communication about how you can access services at this facility. Thank you so much, everybody. And we want to wish you a lovely afternoon and journey masses wherever you're going. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. Bye-bye for now from us. Before we go, can we close with our anthems? Because we started off with anthems. We now want to close off with our anthems, starting with the East African anthem, and then we close with the national anthem. So over to you, the team that is in charge of that, so that we can officially have this close. East African anthem.
Twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Uzalendo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Viwandani na hata mashambani tufanye tufanye kazi sote kwa makini, tujitoe kwa hali na mali, tuijenge jumuiya bora. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
It's been
Thank you all.
Good evening to you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Savia, and the rest of the team. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
What else is here? You saw that when you
Thank you.